Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I want to paint a mini portrait of my friend, and I'll bring you guys along. The first step is to prepare all the paint I'm going to need. I like to organize my paint from light colors to dark colors, so I always start with white, yellow, and then go into the reds, the blues, and then the green and browns. For this painting, I'm gonna mainly need skin tone color, so white, red, and a little bit of green, but I like to have all my colors laid out just in case I want to mix them or make them less saturated. Next, I'm going to prepare the medium, which is used when I want to mix paint or make a certain layer more liquid. I always like to have my paint a little bit on the lighter and more liquid side when I do the outline, just so if I make a mistake, I can go over it and cover it up. The first step to starting any painting is always setting the outline. So I would go in with a light blue or tan color and draw out the general outline of the subject that I'm going to paint. I'll just roughly set the outside boundaries and go over and see if the proportions make sense, if the directions of the lines make sense, and just to have a general structure before going in with color. After I'm happy with the general outline, I'll go in and start mixing colors. I like to start with the darker color just to show depth of the subject and also set the tone for the overall painting. For a darker skin tone, I always start by mixing a peach color using red, white, and yellow. Then I'll add in some little bits of blues and greens just to bring down the saturation. After I'm done with the dark shadows of the face, I'll add in some white and yellow to that dark color to make a lighter skin tone for the rest of the face. I use the color I already have on my palette instead of mixing a new color because this makes the paint seem more consistent and the color tones will match each other. I constantly go back and adjust the outline. Never be afraid to go back and make a change if it's not accurate to what you see. Oil paint in particular is very easy to make changes to. All you have to do is use a different brush and go over your original painting. After I'm done adjusting, I'll go in and mix a very dark color for the dark parts, such as the eyes, the eyebrows, and the hair. Don't be too concerned about how the eyes look right now. It always looks a little weird when you first start painting them, but don't worry, just continue on with the painting, and towards the end when you add in the very dark spots and the bright spots, it will look super normal. At some point when you're halfway through the painting, don't forget about the background. Just put in a plain color if you're not ready to go into the details yet, but the background is very important because it sets the overall tone for the painting, and it might seem unnatural if you leave it towards the very end. I personally don't like super contrasting and bright colors, so I'm going in with a light blue that matches the shirt of the subject and seems consistent. You can use the background as another chance to go in and fix the outline. I like to go really close to the subject and almost scrape away any paint that's not supposed to belong there, or leave some white space if you want to expand the outline a little bit. After painting the key features of the subject, I'll always go in and fill in the blank spaces on the canvas, just to make it seem more complete. After that, I'll go in for a second round and really carve out those details on the face. So I'll start again with the dark shadows on the face and go in with a much darker color. I always hold two brushes in my hands when I do these kind of paintings, one for the super dark colors and one for a light to neutral color, just so I don't have to constantly wash my brush or get those colors dirty. The last step to any painting is just to go back in and go through the details once again. After the first layer of paint dries up a little bit, some parts might seem a little blurry or fuzzy, so if you want that really crisp detail, you can go in with a small brush and carve out those highlights and shadows. Towards the end, I decided to make the color of his shirt a little darker just to differentiate from the background and make it seem more realistic. As you can see, I'm still fixing the outline of his hair towards the very end, so never be afraid to go back and redo what you've already painted and fix those mistakes. And that's all for today's video. This is how the final product turned out. Let me know if you liked it in the comments below, and subscribe if you want to see more paintings.